Hello, I'm Emily Barker. Welcome to Essential's weekly roundup of news across the union movement. The Gillard government has moved to tighten the rules for foreign workers on short-term visas in the face of evidence that local workers are losing out in key sections of the economy. The CFMEU has released figures showing a 12-month decline of 68,000, that's 6.5% in the number of workers employed in the Australian construction industry. At the same time, there was a 38% rise in the number of 457 visa workers in the same industry. CFMEU National Secretary Dave Noonan says the pressure is now on opposition immigration spokesman Scott Morrison, who wants to expand the Section 457 program. As Victorian Premier Ted Baillieu threatens to walk away from the Gonski education funding reforms, he has bigger troubles in his own backyard. This month, teachers walked off the job for the first time in 15 years in their bid to secure wage rates comparable with colleagues in other states. The AEU has been screening this TV ad to keep pressure on the Premier.
I've lost a literacy coach from grade 2 and the VCAL coordinator, part of the state government's $500 million in cuts. Well, it's the kids who need the most help who suffer. And with the $300 million cuts to TAFE, where are the opportunities when they leave here? Parents are really worried. This pay dispute has dragged on for 2 years. They just want to focus on teaching. 2 years. It's no way to treat staff.
To support the teachers, go to keepthepromise.com.au. In New South Wales, female RailCorp staff are revolting over the way random drug and alcohol testing is being conducted. Women staff who are being asked to pee in a bottle say it's undignified and that swabs would be a more accurate and appropriate form of testing. Alex Classens from the RTBU told me it shows a lack of respect for female workers.
Look, I think it's outrageous that the New South Wales government haven't already moved with the time and introduced swab testing for all rail workers.
It may not have been the Oscars, but the Australian Workers' Union's national conference at the Gold Coast last week was a glittering political affair. And it had its own bit of Hollywood with this short film starring one of Australia's most celebrated actors, Jack Thompson, channeling Henry Lawson.
Our parents toiled to make a home. Hard grubbing 'twas and clearing. They wasn't crowded much with lords when they was pioneering. But now that we have made the land a garden full of promise, old greed must crook his dirty hand and come to take it from us.
Finally, the Miners' Union is calling for a moment of reflection on outgoing BHP Chief Executive Marius Klopper's unsung achievements after he walked away with a $75 million golden handshake. In his time at the helm of the world's biggest mining company, the dapper South African refused to ever meet a trade union official, oversaw a boom in fly-in, fly-out operations, and presided over a costly and unnecessary 22-month industrial dispute with Bowen Basin coal miners.
Here are some of the mining families, Frank and Maureen, Denise and Russell. And they have here a boarding pass for Marius. For any airline at any date, for Marius Kloppers to come up to central Queensland and see the impact that BHP is having on the mining communities there.
He also refused the repeated requests of mining families to visit central Queensland and see the fallout of the mining boom for himself. The families have now withdrawn their offer to pay for Klopper's air ticket. Don't forget to send in your news tips and keep an eye on the latest Essential report on the Essential Vision website. I'm Emily Barker. I'll see you next week.